Fine, it's already been solved. But now I'm asking you one further question that's outside of what it was, and you still won't reply. And now you're playing victim.
Whoosh! The house is hot today. It is raining fire and brimstones everywhere. There's a lot of tension that is going on in the house. It even got to a point where Mpho left the dining room area when Libo came there, and I'm like, hey, looks like this week is going to be tense. As Evan said it on Sunday, that this week we're going to there's going to be a lot of tension. I don't know if it's to graduate to like confrontation or anything, but there's a whole lot that is going on in the house. We're going to talk about it in today's video and then the result of the challenge. Welcome back to my channel, guys. If you are new here, please do subscribe, turn on your post notifications so that I can get notified each time I post a brand new video, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. So for the veto power challenge, I told you guys that I am gonna sleep. Immediately Tato dropped her own ball. I was like, nah fam, I'm not going to keep waiting for these people because they can go on and on. So I just slept her and I woke up to find out that Themba won the challenge, and I'm like, okay, that's nice.
You on winning the ultimate veto power gameplay. Thank you so much, man. Congratulations, Themba. Thank you.
Before they started, I was thinking Sister Mara will win, because when it comes to like endurance challenges in the past, Sister Mara has won. So I'm like, okay, but Themba seemed to be the one that was most comfortable. So for when they started the challenge and had gone for, I was like, okay, maybe Themba is just going to stay and be the one to win. Sister Mara was also really pressed and was cold, so a lot of things happened. Themba also got, in fact, I think all of them had their challenges, and then Themba won.
Guys. My hand. Come on. Shit.
After he won, you guys, he literally had to crawl when he was going to the room, because he already said it that his legs were shaking. So he was trying to crawl to the room before Libo now helped him. That challenge is not an easy one. It's not an easy one at all. I feel like what made it worse is the fact that it happened in the evening and then it went through the night. So they were suffering two things: lack of sleep, and then that. If it's during the day, you know that you're normally awake, so you don't have to battle with sleep. But them having to battle with sleep and everything now made it more crazy. And I think that's one of the reasons why Tato's ball dropped. Initially, I thought she just gave up, but apparently her ball dropped. That's why she was out of the challenge. I was like, okay, that explains it, because earlier on she was already saying that she's ready to stand there for 2 days. So I feel like she would have gone on, but apparently her ball dropped. That's why she was out of the challenge. Then when it comes to Tato and Themba's issues, I told you guys that Tato was saying something about Themba irritating her, but apparently it's not something that they carried on, because this morning I saw them, there's so much breeze around, hope you guys can hear me very well. So this morning I saw them shaking hands and congratulating each other. So I'm like, thank God I didn't even take their beef personal, because they usually do that sometimes. So I guess they are good now based on what I saw.
Still painful.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you.
Wasn't your hand so?
It is, even now.
You stayed up and see.
I was about to fall. Luckily, Tamara gave up.
Let me talk about Mpho and Libo's situation before we get into terrorism, because terrorism is a little bit longer to address. So for Mpho and Libo, when I saw her crying on Sunday, I was like, I didn't really understand why she was crying and why she was taking it personal, because this is something that had been missing, like I think like 4 days before the person that took it was revealed to them. So it did not make sense to me that all of a sudden it's now getting to her so bad. But I saw a video online where she kind of tried to question Libo as to what was it, like whether Big Brother told him to like maybe take that specific item, and then the way Libo just, you know, responded, he just went into full-blown attack mode.
I would, yeah, until I want to wear that shoe.
Big Brother knows all.
So if they take the gym.
I took everything one day.
Were you instructed to take those things?
Of course, what the hell would they take them for fun?
No, I'm listening to me. I'm asking him like.
So after seeing that video, I kind of understood why she got all emotional after the live eviction show. I don't think it's just about the clothes, or it's mainly about the clothes. I think it's the way he responded, because she was trying to maybe see whether she'll get an answer, and other housemates were also questioning him, but immediately she said something, he just went into full-blown attack mode. So I think that is what made the whole thing like that. It not just stemmed from nowhere. If he had not responded that way, maybe she would have not acted that way, right? But on his own angle, it also stems from somewhere. Apparently he overheard Terry and Mpho when they were having a conversation about him, Terry, Mpho, and Sister Mara, he overheard the conversation, and you know that since then, himself and Terry, they've not really been close like that, and you know, so they just been moving in circles. It's almost as if everything is just like coming back. Everybody is just being defensive from their own angle. So I think that is what just made the whole thing more serious than it is, and that kind of explains what the situation is. Then for Terry and Libo, started yesterday. Terry was talking to Libo about why he blamed Tools for taking her property. Today they continued on that conversation. Terry was expressing the way she was feeling to Tools. Gash1 was also on the table, Mpho was on the table. So Terry was just saying that more like she doesn't have anything to work with, that she's asking him a question and he's not responding, and then now he's going to play the victim. So to her, she doesn't like the fact that he's now playing the victim.
You won't indulge me in conversation, so now what am I going to say? You won't answer me enough. For me, it's the aftermath. Fine, it's already been solved, but now I'm asking you one solid question that's outside of what it was, and you still won't reply. And now you're playing victim.
Then at some point, Tools tried to explain to her that it was all part of like the whole game plan, and the fact that he blamed Tools was just to get the suspicion away from his back. That's Libo. So Tools was just trying to make her understand the reason behind that he's the one that was accused. So Tools was the one that was accused. So I can understand him saying that he was the one that was accused. If anything, maybe he should be the one taking. He should be the one that would be angry because he was the one that was accused of taking her property, right? But apparently Terry was the one that was feeling some type of way about it. And for me, I don't usually like to invalidate people's anger. If she feels like that's what the Libo did came across as betrayal and all of that, I'm not going to say she has no right to be angry over it. So, but her manner of approach is just what made the whole thing like the way it was, and Libo not responding, to that was his own choice. So between them, there's still also that tension and stuff, and it did not start yesterday. So the whole thing is just like, Meanwhile, at some point, Gash1 also like came into the picture. I was trying to be the mediator between Libo and Terry, because when Libo came to the table, Mpho had already left. He was trying to call Mpho, but she didn't respond. So I think she didn't just want to have the conversation at all. So he was trying to be like the mediator between Libo and Terry, trying to explain to Terry that her approach, Libo spoke to him about maybe the tension that was on ground. That's why he didn't respond to her. Then she was not like, why didn't he speak to me? So it was just like she was having a conversation with Gash1 and using that idea to express her frustration telling Libo what he did that she didn't like. So at some point, Libo now told Gash1 that he understands that he's coming from a good place, but he should not speak on his behalf.
It's the blatant disregard, and we're supposed to be friends, but you're talking to me way different.
But probably the way he approached you, he was thinking...
There was no approach.
No, like when he was saying it, probably in his mind, that's what he was going to.
I don't think like speak on behalf. I know you mean well, but let's let it go.
So apparently Libo just is not just ready to have the conversation, doesn't want to speak to Terry at all about it. And I think that's what's really getting to Terry. The fact that Libo is not even saying anything and he's not, being shaken by the whole thing. So that's just them having their issues. I don't think there's anybody that's really like the victim here per se. I don't know how things are going to graduate from here. Let's see how everything is gonna play out. So I'm going to end this video here. We're going to meet whenever they do their next challenge or their head of house games. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Bye. Love you.